Today we're going to be starting back on Carlsy. We're going to be trying to get it the rest of the way finished up, running and driving. So here we've got everything all kitted up. We did a lot of work since you guys seen this last. Same thing in the engine bay. And for a little overview of what we've done, not only have we came into the engine bay, swapped out all of our rubber hoses, converted them to brand new silicone, but we actually went down, replaced the two hard to reach fuel lines underneath the brake master cylinder. And we also did all of the hoses over here on the engine, between the idle air control, the PCV. We did absolutely everything there is. So there is no old, crusty, dry, hard rubber. We didn't stop there though. We actually cut all of our old coolant lines off. We looped them to bypass the lines that go on the plenum that actually go up to your throttle bodies to warm them up. Not only does it make everything look better, it makes pulling and reinstalling the plenum a breeze. So to make it even more simple, we did an EGR delete. We put these block off plates as well as putting a bung back here in the header itself. So the whole unit is officially deleted. We did do a fuel injector conversion. We got all the old lower rail seals out, new ones installed. We shaved up by the cylinder one on the plenum to give access for these new style pigtails. We did take this nasty, dirty, crusty, disgusting plenum, took some brake cleaner, wire brush, a little bit of love, and gave it new life and shined it up way better than it was. And overall, we just simplified this engine to make it way easier to work on and to make it, you know, just more reliable in a sense, because there's way more things that are not going to go wrong now, considering all the vacuum lines we've cut down and all of the old brittle rubber hoses. So today we get to install this thing back in the chassis. So here is like the only piece of the hose kit I have actually not installed, and that's just because I have to get down into the fender liners. First and foremost, let's get this engine off the stand, get it where we can hook it up to the engine hoist, and begin to drop it back in the chassis. So we actually have a brand new clutch and flywheel over in that box to install. Now that it's off the stand, we can finally start on this rear main seal. So once that's done, we can put our transmission dust shield on, flywheel, clutch. We use the old screw method. Check my shorts if you want to know how to do it. Now we're going to pop on the brand new one. Now that that's installed flush to the retainer bracket, let's grab our dust shield. Just because it fits on here and here and sits into place, don't go ahead and start throwing your flywheel and everything on. Check these two bolts right here. So you can tell there's no actual screw hole, nothing to, you know, tighten that into. You actually need to flip it around. When it comes to installing new flywheels, you always want to clean it up with some brake cleaner or some solvent. Basically just so you can get rid of all of the oil that they put on the surface so it does not rust or corrode during transit or being packed. Not packed, but being stocked on the shelves. Unfortunately, two of my new cans have no actual compressed air in them or whatever, so I have to squeeze them just to get stinking fluid. Ridiculous. Scrub-a-dub-dub, and we're going to do the exact same thing to the pressure plate mating surface itself. Although I've never done it before, I'm throwing 2 drops of Loctite on each of these bolts. We're only using the blue type, so it's just going to be for some peace of mind, you know. And all done. So I just went to pop and swap these coolant temp sensors to upgrade it, and as soon as I put this ratchet on there, it literally snapped all the plastic off. At first I was confused and thought the whole thing crumbled. I ended up finding the bracket for the knock sensor so we could mount that connector there, and we got us a power steering pump on, belts all tensioned. Now let's get this thing in the car. Gotta love that YouTube magic. So we've pretty much got everything completed on this Z now. We've set the ignition timing, we've double checked it. We've got a good connection up here on the coolant temp sensor. Found out that it's just a bad broken plastic. I thought the whole thing needed replaced. It wasn't actually corroded. It just had that brittle plastic, because if you remember, that coolant temp sensor completely disintegrated.
We've got all new silicone vacuum hoses everywhere. EGR delete in place like I spoke of previously. No leaks on the coolant line bypass. Same for the other silicone hoses. A lot of times you'll kind of struggle with your silicone hoses sealing if you don't clean up all your surfaces, and sometimes you got to put a little bit of a RTV in it just to make up that difference and help it seal. Another annoying thing with these silicone kits is these hose clamps are never right, so I gotta mix match some from all across the Z just to make them work. We did toss a new fuel filter in here. It's a little bit larger than factory. If you are wanting to take that route, you need a longer bolt, and it just doesn't look as clean because it's not flush, but that's whatever. But honestly, I haven't started the Z in a while. Once I moved it over here and played musical cars in the garage, because I did kind of release another video, I got my Flip Z over there in the shop. Basically, this just took its spot for the time being, and I have not touched it since. So let's see if this thing will fire up. Not bad for 2 weeks. There is actually one thing we have to do. Since we replaced the clutch, I think someone readjusted the pedal for the clutch at some point when the clutch was, you know, worn, to kind of adjust the pedal, obviously make it feel better. Now it's like when you pull out of the clutch in neutral, it kind of grabs and inches forward, like it lunges, but it doesn't keep moving. I just don't want there to be any like I don't want the clutch to be like partially engaged and actually be wearing itself out over time, especially since it's brand new. So let's move it over here. As you guys can probably tell, I'm super sick. And yeah, he's actually coming to pick this up tomorrow, thankfully, so we get more room at the shop. Drove fine over here, made a couple strange noises. I'm starting to wonder if maybe the diff bushings are worn out. We did just upgrade to a one-piece drive shaft, so it is a possibility with the extra, I don't know, vibration or wear to it. I have to just take that up with Carl. But the Z's officially finished, and we can finally move on. But speaking of other stuff to do, the thing that I wanted to show for this video is I've got this second living room in my house that's actually back here. We've been living in the front, which is in the very front by the front door. So basically, I have torn all the carpet out and we've got to redo the flooring in there. I know you guys may not be super excited, but we're going to do some home renovation in today's video, at least for the end of it. Got a little segment that we can get this flooring and stuff all knocked out, and we actually painted, so it looks even better than the transformation that I filmed like a month ago. So I hope you guys like it, because I mean, honestly, it looks 100 times better. I love it, and not to mention I like never leave this living room now when I'm in the house. So let's go inside and let's do some flooring. Now what we're going to do is run about 2 or 3 rows, get it cut all the way across and get it where it's straight across the floor as possible. So as we run the wood, it comes across the floor as evenly as possible. We're actually using bamboo, so technically it's not wood, but it's durable stuff and it's good for having pets. So let's do a little before and after here and get this over with. So we've got a little bit set down and pretty much we got the rest except out to here. I've got to kind of cardboard those low spots
so we don't film underneath the floor. But basically, we're gonna run a couple rows out, show you guys us doing a couple rows, and probably just go for an overall transformation at the end. I'll set you guys up over here in the corner and let's slap in some bamboo. Now we've almost got it all beat. I never used to wear a respirator or safety glasses, but older me now decides that I definitely need to. Kind of dumb for doing it as long as I did, and this stuff smells awful. Even though you guys watched the start already, let's give you a before and an after. Got the whole room all finished up, with the exception of our last cut along the wall. Can't even talk right now. I've been smothered by this mask for so long. Basically, I'm not 100% sure where I want to put the trim line here, since there's like a transition that drops down into the next room. Not that I'm crazy worried about it, probably just be a day or two, but for now, I'm super happy with how this turned out. So I'm actually going to set you guys up somewhere, see if Gabby has any kind of reaction when she gets home, because I'm going to try to get rid of all the evidence real quick, so wish me luck.
Look at that, Tanner. Look at that. Look, Tanner. Look, Tanner. Oh, this looks nice. Oh, you already spray foamed it. Look at you go. Where are we? What is this? Somebody walk here. Nice. I like it. Now I gotta figure out what color to paint.
Well, sneak peek here. I can't tell you when the last time it was when I recorded in here. Don't mind my ceiling bird, because yes, I'm neglectful. Sorry. I like to buy car parts, not spend money on batteries. But we got the room painted. We basically had to get all this ready in time for a Friendsgiving that we had, so we could actually have a room for everyone to come to. And now our other living room is like completely barren and just kind of looks disgusting almost. So since we got this place looking so nice, I mean, honestly, I wanted to do black baseboards around the walls, door casings, all that. When the tree comes out, we've got another bookcase like this that's going to go over there that's currently housing all my car parts. Like in here, we've got, basically there was baseboard heaters. We took them out. We filled in all the crevices and gaps, used some expanding foam, and some places that we found mice were coming through. But my parts room is looking a lot better since we got the bookcase out. We just have one more in the other room. Also, it looks like I don't have as much stuff anymore. Kind of makes me sad, but it is what it is. We're going to wrap it up here, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit, kind of an update video that I filmed way back. Honestly, parts of these videos go back well over 6 months ago. So yeah, we definitely neglected to I neglected to get that back living room done, especially when we peeled it up and found that asbestos. But you win some, you lose some. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe down below. Hope you stay tuned for the next video. We will catch you guys in the next one. And in the next one, we will be working back on that Project Z. Like I said, I'm going to stay 2 projects now and actually get them done, follow them through. Let you guys see the full before, after, and then when it's sold or when whoever gets it, instead of just bouncing around. So thank you guys again, and until next time, peace.